let's go. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. Yes. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. It wasn't me. I didn't. I didn't do it. Oh man. 5 years earlier, we have a second trial. Oh, we start from a second trial, I see. So that's why it's a single trial of the game. And for the aim. Phew, it's final time, I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Oh, Mr. Crossberg, good morning. Oh, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Crossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I am Marvin Crossberg, I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What, with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. Quite forcefully, too. I smiled yesterday. But the case, I mean. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there, that's our client. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to smile at me. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Jeez, oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Wright? Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Just like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My dog says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you're truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, do my shot. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for a client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. First time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. Well, this now is season for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Euro. Of course it's you. The prosecution is ready, Euro. This guy's like the trial one guy in these games every time, I guess. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes or no? Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give me your toughest look. Of course, you know. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. Murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying parapsychology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body, and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police. It suddenly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a gentleman, if you will. A what? Show him what you're made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause, go on. Please say you know at least this much. Fatal electric shock. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. Well, I just my hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see it by pressing. God damn it. Also, evidence we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. You have to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. Court record. Okay, let's take a look. Let's press. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? According to the court record, it was fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how does the thing happen? The murderer used some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? As that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, you know. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He's our one smooth operator, if you get my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? This time I would like to see some important supporting evidence. What the fuck? How did you even have evidence at this point? Like what? Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need, then shove it on into old Greybird's face. Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. Okay. Yeah. Wait, it's with tab now? No, it's still with R. Oh, I see. I see. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the battle between Phoenix, Wright, and the victim? The reason the battle between the two of them was this woman here. Also, that take that the voice for me was cuter than I expected it to be. What the heck? Well, Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Ah, he's done it again. For the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it please the court, the prosecutor would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye. It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he missed what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student. That's right. I understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doxa. But why I didn't do it? I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... The defendant, please refrain from passing on his call to the rest of us. It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see, so you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. It looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know, too naive. Huh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right. And it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? He's saying the testimony just now. There was a lie, a contradiction. Now then, your cross-examination if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Whoop. I didn't mean to do this. Whoops. I meant to press R and not E. God damn it. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right, I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me, I'm the killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... Did you see it at the crime scene, the Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, you see. It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. Exactly fishier than the salmon I ate last night. Let me ask you something, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Who is this person anyway, this Union Jack fellow? Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor. Your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Yeah, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Krusberg. Okay, now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence, I mean. Okay, yeah, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I can handle it, probably, maybe. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it, I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, yeah. I'll be fine, I know that I have what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state the contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. One more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. His face, there's some point to this line of questioning. You know, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that the accident came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath the jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Yeah, you've made your own client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trust him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Wait a second. How do you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. I lost it. Does it even have anything to do with the case? That's right. Shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Gunnar, I'd like you take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this? In the victim's hand it's called Killer X. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind the building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split. And later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. But forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. That's the press, I guess. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. So the person is it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. Oof. What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dolly Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Dotto Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. It was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. Was Mrs. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IBU. An alchemist, SC. But I admit it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, fascinating. It sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much though. A little bit earlier in your testimony you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right. They sure look dangerous. There's no standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. High voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. So what was they were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime. I wish that were true. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to get to cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. The day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. How is it, Dolly? It's the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Huge. Why do you put me in the job? Oh, I'm so sorry. It felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. God. I think that's enough for now. The defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death, and then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine ball either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... you're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mrs. Waller killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Can we do that? Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mrs. Wallow died. That would be most impressive. Hehehe. Quite a brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? There's something that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... Why is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then, the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been highly escapable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. Anyone who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. That must be certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were something besides the medicine ball? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean? Yes, it was quite clearly printed on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left the print like that. Intent of murder. He squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. It's a Crossberg. My hammerheads never lie. The show is over, yeah? I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. This time I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye? No matter what it is you have to say. I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further... I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Don Swallow is dead. Something you need to know about. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. But as things currently stand, we are all absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. It feels like my hammerheads are doing the Harlem shake. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electric cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables were nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. But yeah. She's innocent. There must be some kind of evidence. Some way that will prove it. A loud noise. And what would you say the loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. Which I do. I'm turning on some dangerous ground here. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That's probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did the umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and fair, kind of like the owner. Wow! Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well... This is, yeah. This new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. A perfect fitting. Claims information proclaims the lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The solution here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order. The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. What? I know this matter of the umbrella seems rather trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No. I must say, I still find it hard to believe. A huge hole has been blown into the prosecution's case for the defendant's testimony. Well done, Mia. Hee hee. Hee 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 hee. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Yeah, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. The court will now enter the 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Miss Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such simple facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. Love your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Then we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh yeah, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off, but before she gave it to me she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It's a little bottle, alright. It makes me so happy, I know it. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing with me. Please give it back now. A strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you? This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to say. I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. I believe there's some connection between these two cases, am I correct? I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. But it looks like research is about over. We'd better all get moving. I guess so. The research sure seemed longer than 20 minutes though. Twelve 13 PM. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Mrs. Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. What's with this deep silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt. To take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe that he actually said that. Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will pass them with my camera. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming out my nerves. So nice. I was right at home. Not at all. There's nothing. We may move on now. What is your full name and occupation? My name is Talia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sir, is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever is in your mind. I thought there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone, I just know it. Yes, yes. I can see why you'd say that. It's going to be a tough witness, alright. It took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with the testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of that incident, if you please. I'd been planning to go back to Feeny's place after the class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never... That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So, you two are acquainted? Yes, we met before. Once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madame Fey. Madame? No one's grandma yet, girlie. Oh man. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. He never did a thing to Doggy. I pressed her for no good reason, I just thought just would get angry with me. So what should I do about the testimony just now? People lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? But I would never. Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that, I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try and cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor. I will, if you don't mind. I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Doggy fell to the ground. At that time there was only the two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Down Swallow. Yes, that's right. Well then, what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation. Give me a break. That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely. Not there's anything out of the ordinary at all. No, nothing at all. Is it, Judge? Oh, I like sort of that. Free to judge. No then, please proceed with this. Good then. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they are all very fond of their drugs. Besides stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do. But in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. Students knew what was going on. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something. It doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students. But did the students call the police? Yes, I was so panicked. Yes, well anyone would have been, my dear. Girl, she's telling a super obvious lie, and she knows it. Just pretending to protect Mr. Bright. Yes, that's got to be it. Way to go, me. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Feeny, I mean Mr. Wright, is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese and Rue poetry. Oh, how wonderful is this? That humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes? Nothing left to do. When a man reads this age, sleep is his best friend. It's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. To get the art department, I have to walk through that back area. Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. I want to enter. The courthouse, I always walk through the front doors. How else would you enter? Teleportation? Oh man. So who is this doggy person? Oh, I'm sorry. Del Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were okay, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Why am I being demonized here? Please go on, what did you see next? Why did I realize this? My bad. I didn't pay attention enough. You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is it correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed, I make you hear the sharp, loud noise. He said that? You were really that close to the two of them. Why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the... Fuck, my eyes. Maybe the noises wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Bright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. I have a moment to answer. By all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The ears was beginning to let up. It seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. The sky continued to pleasant rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, you know, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in the testimony after all. Wait a second, yeah. Testimonies is now. It's something that could only change this whole case. No, there's a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? You said there was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? Now's not time for a science lesson, Miss Faye. Yes, sir. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, is it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. That's what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway. His entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, yeah. I'll be taking that not guilty. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. Prosecutor has done its research, Your Honor. Found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What? What's more, evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? It's affidavit. Who is this affidavit from? The pharmaceutical students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the court testimony of the pharmaceutical students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 PM that day. Was the blackout? All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage armor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because the severed electrical cable. Power outage occurred at approximately 3 PM, which fits the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. However, there's one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor? I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to say its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Or what was it that caused the cable to break? Is it this for the cable snap? Literally, the only thing that's the mind of the defense. One of your best lines yet. Oh, so that was harsh. Just want to give me one more chance. Okay, what the hell was it then? I mean, it's probably something very simple, but... Oh, okay. I actually checked the guide, but okay, I guess it's... Gunner. Please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now this happened at around 3 PM, correct? Yes, it sounds right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 PM, which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. It was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shot. Just umbrella. It's by the electrical pole. That's right, the victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was executed. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order! Order in the court. Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant the judge, sir. May I say something? The madam's attorney's explanation is some things that are a little different than I remember them. Oh, what the? He says once more. May I please testify one last time, please, Mr. Judge? Of course it's alright. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. The truth is, Finny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole, that's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Finny caught up and crashed into him from behind. Cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. This when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Finny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I want to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court. I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge? Yes? Will you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What you did is called... Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. Wow! We'll try it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright? Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge. Not at all. Ho ho ho. Judge had better be more careful himself. Dark alley is friendlier than that girl. Oh, God. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole. I know he doesn't look it. Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad. Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold. Wow. Miss Faye, I'll have to ask you to stop battering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for them both, and that they would each give the fight their all. It's very sweet of you to be supportive. And what happened after that? Wowie. That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? Well, no, there weren't. And Payne, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? As he crashed into him from behind, right? Afeni wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? You actually witnessed the moment the victim was executed. I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable. Yes, indeed. It would have been a perfect sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Time is past 3. Medicine. That's the one thing he likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. Stopped at the precise time the victim was executed. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to student testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Gah! Do you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Dogswallow. Order in the court. This is nonsense. The real murderer. Even you can't deny it. The time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mrs. Wallow. After my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Is Faye. Is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer? It's final time. It's the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor. We are ready. Very well. Remember. If you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. No, Miss Faye. Let's have it. Who is the real killer? It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it very hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order. Miss Faye. What? I mean, why? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge you are. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. You! What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Well, what if she could? What if she did? That's right. Get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. Man. Boy. Putting himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. Seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on the incident in your newspaper clipping. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You'd better take a good look at it. Victim Diego Armando, lawyer suspect Dahlia. Suspect Dahlia Hawthorne. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity of or on the suspect's person. It's unclear how the poison is entered the victim's coffee cup. Okay. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Oh man. Oh no. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor. Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. That is, go right ahead. Madame Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet doggy? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry. Please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Phoenix. The notion that I would try to frame him is ridiculous. It's all just too much for poor little me to bear. I believe that the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. I'm sure that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, the same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor. Is the poison in the bottle? In the necklace? The defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? But the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case? The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence that just says that she in fact has a very good reason. Very well then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, do you mind staying on for just a bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Check for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. Fuck. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick, and it's just Chelsea, I think. Is that right? Do that again and he will be held in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow. Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. I think my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself. No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to call me Judge Fickle. Oh. Maybe you should look for a different line of work. Despite that, however, he always ends on the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judge Genie. Nice one. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm talking about him, I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you. It has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case. I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What are you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? Please, Your Honor, the answer is simply this. Bullshit. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is the meaning of the cocky smile on your face, Miss Payne? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which the attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report, and that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order, order, order. This is unbelievable. It's true then. The loveliest rose again. It's fake. That's not fair. You can slander my witness with. But the dialogue just keeps going away and there's no like fucking logo of the things even. It's annoying. I Winsome Payne will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me, go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, boys expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest, huh? Is it not, sir? I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. You did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, yeah? Oh, you've really lit the fire in my heart and my buttocks. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. I met a lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. Left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. I heard it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. My god. There we go. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you've heard from the witness testimony, she has nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about other tricks. Terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Ha, yeah, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you. Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison. I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Payne. That's right. And I think we've all had enough of Miss Payne's questions. So in a sense, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison. All we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great, now just how did a literal student get a hold of poison of all things? I probably saved on this. Did I? I don't know. Okay. What were you talking about with the defense authority? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential. According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case. A lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us all what that incident was? There's absolutely nothing at all to do with this case. Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady. Oh, Phoebe, please. You really are making me ill. I'll bet for decidedly different reasons. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police. But you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. And where were you during this stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Bay? Toilet, my perfect little toy doesn't put. What the fuck? You heard that, man, Miss Bay. Better luck next time. Okay, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time. Sustained. But how much liquid is these spoons? Well, let me see. A bottle of eye drop says it's 1/2 fluid 1 ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. It's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of caffeine. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. Special kind of poison. Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect. Why can't I speak today? What the fuck? Oh, and where would something like that come from? I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it. Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. It was impressive. The question is, how did the criminal get something like that? Whatever. Fuck. Hold on. What the hell? Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh my god, I'm dumb. Of course. This makes so much sense. You don't know how to get that kind of poison? I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Dog Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at the Abbey University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and smashable poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. Then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at this very table, you. No. Order. Could it be? That's nothing but a basis accusation. May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Well, yes, that's true. I was just immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find the suspicious container anywhere, did they? This is right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something like that. Something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. You're saying that I threw the poison container away. I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? Shouldn't be good with that. Well, I know. Provide some evidence, or I'll have to disallow this one and question Miss Faye. So we can come up with some evidence, we're going to proceed. The full body search of Dahlia and the entire courthouse. The container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. We're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder. Then where's the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? It's the Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him disguised as a present. What? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th. It's the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of finding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! Order in the court. On behalf of Julie, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is... we just have to... Naturally, it's because she's fallen madly in love with you too. See, just like I told you. Yeah, I think really. That flies in the face of everything I've been learned up to this point. I'm sorry, I don't know why I've said that. It's because I just like the sound of the phrase madly in love. Miss Faye, you can't remain a starry-eyed maiden for the rest of your life, you know. Please let me think it over one more time or not. The rare lives in the Dahlia. It could be either one of these, technically, but I think it's this one. Well, because of the necklace, actually, it's that one, but just to keep you quiet. What? To keep me quiet? Keep me quiet about what? Well, that's a kind of sounding mistake. Nor do you understand what this file secret Miss Hawthorne holds is. Because there is no secret, I tell you. Or, how dense can you be? Dolly Hawthorne was not, and is not, madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is the bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Wait. Yeah. necklace. But I thought on that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. You never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for you, insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Mia, are you alright? The defendant, better hurry, after him. The fuck? Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? Looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no. What's it? The bottle necklace. His holder's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. It's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? God fucking damn it. Ugh. Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with that bottle necklace? Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's okay, just give it back the necklace. I ate it. What? You what? You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. What the? What? What is he doing now? Joanna, you got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have some poison left in it. He. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly the bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would see. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. It's hard for me to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side too. For example, I would trust the witness Miss Hawthorne with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in court of law, evidence is everything. Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It always slipped my mind. I'm really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day I met the swallow. Something. Oh, what? Last night someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. The girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Is it true? Did you really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly. Bjornor, the defendant is Miss Faye. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dolly's thought potion 8 months ago too, huh? You put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony. There's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doe Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye, if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, tell me, who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. The person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? That's preposterous. After all, it's Doe Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mrs. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning the poison was in fact you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. For Mr. Wright, this must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. Pearl necklace. That's all she cared about. Even so, why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the wolf that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It's pretty good. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure, and showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true. Beanie, what a joke you are. Well, that's a change. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I haven't told you time and time again to keep your crap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne? It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling of the crybaby of the client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Oh man. Well, hey old man, are you seeing out or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? No, absolutely no proof. Treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine. Ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. I love these sprites. I can let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. Ultimate price? Okay. Oh fuck, I forgot to press the... There we go. Be forced to take off your attorney's pets forever, I'm afraid. No! You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say... Miss Grey? Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. To be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's pets than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible, you can't possibly. Stupid woman. It's the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one. If you are unable to establish her guilt, I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. Understand, Your Honor. And just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's news segment. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to it before she gets the chance to solve. Just planning to poison Mr. Wright. The case, and the poison was probably in there. Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Clerics. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. He. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat it with Dolly, just the two of us. Yeah. He was the one who took his bowl of cold killer eggs. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, the swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? What are they talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Miss Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That's when the murderer, Dolly Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of cold killer eggs. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. As soon as she realized, I can't allow it. So, she used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mrs. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. On top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bowl of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it, in this case, the swallow. come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman. She's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne. It's called medicine. I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Oh, that's a cool. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours. For the time being. Well, I have a very long memory, you know. And I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge. I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Why, yes. I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the man in blue now. I wish you all the best. Wowee. Phew. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. Even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care, I'm Winston Payne, and I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? A little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There. So if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yes. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Yeah, my hair. It's no. What the fuck? Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Oh, the lights that admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fay. Yes, Your Honor. Was that me, or did you just... And did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor. Whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne. This can't be happening, it's a nightmare. What did I skip by? It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything else further to say? It can't be true. My dear Dolly. Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. Court finds the defendant Phoenix right. This court is adjourned. It's 3:16 PM. Yeah, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Crossberg. In the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. Mr. Crossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking... Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know, I could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright. For your own sake. Yeah, you're right. It's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company does this guy keep? Right now I'm starting to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. Without you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. There's a friend that I desperately want to help. If I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they are in trouble, right? That's right. I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe you're in court. Well, yes. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trail brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. Memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Thanks, no matter what. Always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. What memories the end? Okay. The stolen turnabout. Yes, save. I'll go as far as when I can say the time is 1 AM. Detective, we made it. Phew. A relief. Glad that you are still safe. Oh ho, you said it, pal. It must have been our rock-solid security that scared him off. Would you mind opening the safe just to double check? Ah, we've been had. Mask salutations. Out front, guards, turn on the south sides. Better luck next time, gentlemen. Well then. Excuse me, but I'm afraid I must be leaving now. We shall meet again, when the next moon is full. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Okay. What? 7:24 PM. Anyway, I love this. And there. This is where we call off.